Hi guys. So yeah, it's been a little while since I made a video. I just want to talk about the markets today because I think we've got some interesting stuff coming up. Obviously, it's been a really interesting time in the markets recently. I mean, since April, it's actually been really difficult to trade. Um, really choppy conditions, all news motivated movements. So, tariffs, Trump's been screwing the price action up for a lot of people. The markets have really been like tweet motivated at the moment, and it's been pretty frustrating for a lot of us to say the least. But I'm hoping that we're starting to come out of it a little bit. The markets are starting to regain. It seems like we've gone through that consolidation period where we had these massive movements from the tariffs, from all the tariff news, and we're starting to slow down a little bit now. So the reason I want to make this video today is one, to be able to refer back to it. I like to be able to refer back to videos. Also, two, I think we're about to see a big move in the market. So, my system's mainly trend lines, trend line breakouts, and it really helps on the daily to be able to call a lot of these pivot points. So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Euro USD. Now, just going onto the charts, we can see that last time we actually had like this kind of daily uptrend, which happened for the better part of about 4 months. We then saw a huge downtrend. We saw the dollar get stronger on the news of like kind of Trump coming into office. Then we saw Trump's inauguration, and the markets just stalled because he was talking about all these tariffs, and nobody really knew what was, nobody really knew what was happening. So what we've seen like a huge run on the euro, on the Great British pound, um, against the dollar, but we're really now starting to see signs of this actually weakening. So let's just have a look here, right? And as I say, we kind of called this on the daily last time. Now on the daily at the moment, we can see price has been following this uptrend for quite some time. We kind of had like this break, but we've seen price go back up, and we're now actually currently retesting the trend line. We're currently retesting the trend line here. We can see. Ignore that. Didn't take that position. I don't really look for buys on Euro USD. I only look for shorts. A lot easier to short the pair than it is to buy it, in my opinion. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, we've seen like this huge uptrend, and we've seen it break. Now, with the early signs of it breaking, what we generally tend to get is we sometimes price will just go straight down, but more often than not, price will still like try and kind of come back up and get back into it, and we can then usually see the angle of the market. We can see the angle of the market changing. So I'm going to also look to USD CHF, and we're going to look at both. We're going to look at both of these. Now we've had this trend line break on Euro USD, and now what we're starting to see is we've kind of had like this, this final up run. Price has tried to get back into the trend line. It's not able to do it, and now what we seem to have is this lovely head and shoulders at the top of Euro USD. So I think we have a big opportunity here to be able to capitalize on this, and we're going to be looking for a break and a retest of this level, and then I'm going to be looking to open two positions, and one of them is going to be a long-term swing to see kind of how far down we can go. Now we've already retested this day. We had this head and shoulders here, of which we did actually trade, and we took some money from the market. Price kind of like retested the trend line and then continued up. But I think we're going to be seeing a lot of downside, and we're also starting to see early signs on other pairs that this is happening as well, right? So we're going to go on to USD CHF. Okay, we actually tried to trade this position yesterday, took a stop out on one, and then also like a +2R on another position. But when we're kind of at the bottom, if we were in bullish market structure, this trade would have worked a lot better. simply for the fact that, you know, it's not a seller's market. We're looking to be able to, you know, the buyers are going to be in strong control. So when we get the breaks and the retest, there's not going to be as much kind of grabby liquidity below it. But the reason I'm saying to you, let's go on to, we'll just clean this up a little bit as we're talking. But the reason I say to you, we're going to go on to USD CHF, okay, is because we've got like a few kind of different trends that prices follow, and we can have a look at the Dixie. I'm going to do this completely blind. I've not even looked at the Dixie myself, but I know we're going to be looking at the same thing because USD, yeah, all follows Dixie. But we can see that we've had price trending downwards. It's been making these new lows, and then we've seen here that price has tried to break out of it. And this is the, as I say, it's the similar with Euro USD, right? Price is, when you start seeing these early breakouts or these attempted breakouts, some people would call them like liquidity grabs. Okay, cool. You know, that it maybe that the way that I see it in the market is that, okay, price is trying to break out here. Buyers are really going for it. Now we're still in very like a consolidative market. So what's going to be key for USD CHF is seeing what happens when we tap into this or tap into this like diagonal level here. And then what we're going to look to do is we're going to look to try and break out of it. And we, as I say, we're starting to see these early signs. We're starting to see it in gold. We're starting to see it in Euro USD. We're starting to see it in USD CHF. We're starting to see it in USD JPY as well. So we're going to be looking for these breakouts. And I think we might manage to time the bottom here, and be able to get in with some small positions on some live accounts for some really, really lovely swings. As long as we don't get taken out, because I know what these kind of positions are like. They'll come down, they'll grab liquidity, they'll try to take out, you know, they'll try to take out as many longs as possible before making the move up. So, you know, we're going to have to be a little bit careful on it. It's why when short in the market, it's a little bit easier. Buying the market for me is always seems to be a little bit more difficult, especially with these long-term swings, simply because when we get a sell-off, we generally get a big sell-off. Okay. So what we're going to look for is me personally, I'm going to be looking for a short on Euro USD. We can see here, classic textbook, lovely head and shoulders, prices being propped up barely by this level here. And then we're going to be looking for a break and a retest, and we're going to be looking for the two positions short. USD JPY, I'm not going to be getting into a long, but we can look at it. We kind of have these two positions from this week that I think we didn't get all the way down. We got to like here, resulted in like a lovely 13R on these kind of swing positions, like really, really lovely moves down. On what day was that? 22nd of July, so on Tuesday. And yeah, we're starting to see like, so with USD JPY, we can see that price was extremely like, we've found this level here where price is just rejecting off. Okay, so price, we were in really lovely bullish market structure, and we were just raking it in during this market structure, and then like I hadn't really traded it. I tried taking a couple of longs, didn't work out for me. I can only short this pair. The system works better for it. But yeah, then we've kind of been on like these, you know, in this real choppy behavior, and price seemed to find like this really kind of flat level here, where price was just reacting off. We got a few shorts in, price tapped into the level, moved up again, and we can just see that kind of price is like just breaking these highs, and the price didn't actually come down and tap into this level again. So every time that we see price move up, price comes straight down. Price moves up, it comes down. Price moves up, it comes down. Price moves up, comes back down to this level. Price moves up, comes back down to the level. We haven't actually seen it now, so I think we're going to be getting an attempt to go into bullish market structure, which sucks for me because I absolutely love shorting this pair. But you know, it gives us an opportunity to start shorting Euro USD a little bit more. Which is, you know, I guess beneficial. But yeah, so you can just see, you start seeing these early signs. You know, we've got, we'll have a quick look at gold. Okay, so yeah, so I probably clean this up a little bit as well as we kind of talk. So gold really respects like trends and trend following and stuff like that. In fact, we're gonna use a chart that we're not, we haven't been trading on. Okay, we can see that price has been following this here, right? We can see that price has been following this here. We've got this lovely kind of top here. So like this ATH, which price has gone back to, and it's gone back to, and it's gone back to, and price is just, it's not been able to break above it. So we're going to kind of go down, and I mean, this is on the daily. We can move this kind of trend line out a little bit, work it more towards the 4 hour. But I think we're going to see signs of this kind of breaking out. So we're going to just start looking for short positions here, man. You can be looking at this on gold, big stop losses. We're talking swing positions here, like, low risk, swing positions, small amounts of money, and just seeing where we can get it to. There's going to be there's plenty of opportunities, and we've kind of got like this. If we look, we've got this kind of daily trend that price has been following now for a little while, so we can expect like a third tap into this level at really, like, probably I'd say around 3100, between 3100 and 3200. This is what I can see happening, and this is what I mean by we're getting signs across the board. So with gold is obviously the safe haven. When dollar's weak, money's going into gold. The euro's been the kind of risk on for this run. Same with the Great British Pound, and we're starting to see signs of this, like, of this breakout. And realistically, the dollar needs some relief. The dollar definitely needs some relief. So it looks like we're going to be going into like kind of bearish market structure and really, really be bullish on the dollar. So this is really the main reason for the video. I'm going to be like looking for some kind of swing positions and posting some stuff up, and some kind of ideas of what we can start looking at. If you've got like a small live account, this is where you can start putting in like kind of like a little bit of investment money. So if you've got like £1,000 account, risking like even 50 or 100 on these kind of big swing positions, and just leaving it, not trading it. Do you know what I mean? Just letting it go, letting it grow. So we're in a really nice position, I think, now to be able to kind of time the top and be able to kind of like time these pivot points. And I think we're probably going to see the same across like these pairs. So like, for example, we've been like working in this channel on EURUSD. We had this position actually marked out yesterday. We've got like this kind of clear bullish flag. Price came in, actually tapped into this on swaps. So if we kind of look here, right? If we look here, we had like a sell-off in the last kind of minute of the day. And then price tapped into this level when it finally kind of broke out, and then we had limit orders placed, hoping that they got tapped into overnight. My kind of full take profit, or my take profit one, was at this level, which we tapped into today, and then tapped into that. And yeah, so we have it like, there is a kind of a few things that are a little bit misleading. I haven't been in the markets long enough to call these pivot points and see these pivot points and really know 100% what happens. This is just me being completely honest and open with you. So with EURUSD, like, we've had this kind of bullish, this real bullish flag after this impulsive move up, and we've kind of broken out of it. Is price going to come in, tap into this level, and then we're just going to be kind of like trading within this? I don't know. Maybe do a bit of research and maybe have a look. In fact, we can kind of have a look whilst we're on the call, because I'm working some things out myself. Great British Pound CAD, I haven't even looked at Great British Pound USD, but Great British Pound CAD is like, since February, it's just been aggressively moving up, and we've been moving up in this kind of like big uptrend, and you know, we had this little downtrend, and prices kind of like been reacting. It's been using this downtrend as a form of support, but we've just had no buyers interested, which is fascinating. Um, we haven't seen price really be able to kind of move up. So what I'm part of me is thinking is we're just going to see downside of it. We're not seeing that on the euro yet, but for me it feels like this is going we're going to have one last push on the euro, and then price is going to then move down. So I want to be able to try and time that and get into a nice position for it in an account that actually I think can grow in. It's a start growing at 100. It's now on. I took one loss on it yesterday, so it's now on 820, but I got it up to just shy of 1,000. So I'm thinking about using that account to do these swings. I might do a new account to do some of these swings. I'm not interested in it in any fundeds or anything along those lines. But yeah, you know, there's some really good opportunities here to make some money, guys, because I really think that we're looking at these pivot points. Same with Euro AUD. Okay, so this is what I'm saying to you guys about these kind of early points. So this to me almost feels bearish. I know it's weird to say, but it feels very, very bearish, right? So look on the daily, okay? So we're now moving up in this channel. We can see prices reacting off it, and we can see that price is tapping into this level now. Okay, the price has moved up. It's moved into, like, you know, we had these big sell-offs. Prices then been working in this upward channel now since the 19th of May for the past 2 months. And now what we're starting to see is we're starting to see the early signs of this channel. You know, when we were here, big buyers, big moves up, price came and tapped into the top of the channel, big sell off, price came into the bottom of the channel, very weakly started getting buys, but nothing too major. And now we're starting to see this channel break. So I think what we're going to look for on this is we see this level break here, we will see a retest, and then we're going to see if we can get into some long-term positions where we're going to be looking at some big swings, and we're going to be looking to target the bottom of this channel. You know, and we can get in, if you're smart, you can get into these positions. I know that I can get a 10 pip stop loss on this. And then you're looking to, I know that I've traded this enough. I know that if you get the level right, you can get a 10 pip stop loss. And then we're going to be looking at some big risk to rewards. Obviously with swings, we'll probably open up the position a little bit. But yeah, so there's going to be some really, really big swings happening. I feel like this is the kind of final push for USD. In fact, if we look here on Euro USD, on Euro AUD, we can see that price was being kind of propped up. Price has come back. It's retesting this level. It's managed to fall back into the channel. But this, for me, is going to be really the kind of last attempt where we're looking to kind of go down and we're looking to break. So, you know, as I say, I think we're at the crucial point where we're going to be looking to start short in the euro. I feel like this is the kind of last hurrah for it. Obviously, with that, you know, with the euro coming down, we're going to see the pound coming down in these kind of other positions as well. So you know, it's just consolidating. So after a day, it's just literally not moved here on Great British Pound New Zealand dollar. We can see that price has kind of been doing this, being propped up by this very, very weak level here, and we're definitely looking to come down on Great British Pound New Zealand dollar to kind of retest this. But this uptrend has only been going, or has been going now for a year and a half. So just, you know, with this, we're going to kind of wait and see. The price action on this pair at the moment has been really quite shit, so I've avoided trading it, which is a bit annoying because it's one of my favourite pairs to trade. And we're also kind of seeing something very, very similar with Great British Pound AUD. So I wouldn't, you know, don't be expecting these kind of trend lines to break, but just be paying attention because we are about to come down and grab liquidity, and these are going to be the targets. So yeah, exciting stuff. big swings about to happen. You know, maybe even looking at short in Euro JPY. The JPY index is probably going to get a bit weaker if the dollar is getting stronger. Obviously, it's a little bit of a safe haven and stuff. We're having a little breakout today, a little push to the upside. Nothing too strenuous though. But yeah, so big moves, in my opinion, are about to happen. I think it's probably going to be off the back of a rate drop from the Fed. That's what I think is coming, and it would be nice to be able to get into some positions to be able to take advantage of this bullish momentum on the dollar with some decent swings. So, you know, as I say, just bear this in mind, guys. You know, we're going to be looking for big positions now. We're going to be looking for big, long swing positions where we can make some good money on the markets. So, yeah, if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, drop them down in the drop them down in the comment section. Make sure you like the video, make sure you give it a subscribe. I run a Discord. It is completely free of charge. You know, we're hitting like 10-15 hours most weeks and stuff, so you know, all really good stuff. But yeah, guys, cheers for watching the video. Let's check back in like a month's time and see if I'm right. I could be wrong, but yeah. Cool, guys. I'll catch up with you in a bit.